the NCAA season, college football started last week. We weren't here for you guys to touch on that, but we're here this week. So as you all know, I am a diehard Michigan State fan, and our guy Sherm here is a fan of the other guys, Michigan. So Sherm, I want to ask you about your guys with the controversy, the quarterback controversy is going on there. Tell me what you saw in game one and what you think should be going on going forward.
I appreciate you letting the right team go first, because that's just how it goes. Big brother goes first. So that being said, I think it's a season that's I think it's not going to be a challenging season until October. Like, reality of it is, what are they going to do against Iowa? Right now it's going to be hot QB takes left and right.
Y'all should manhandle Iowa, especially after the way they performed. That terrible offense.
We should, but it's Iowa. If it's a night game, I don't know if it's a night game. If it's a night game, yeah, all bets are off. But we'll see. But for the first 4 games, we should be fine, obviously. And obviously, I think the bigger issue is the Cade McNamara thing. And I don't know why it exists, but I kind of know why it exists, why we're going through it. I'm getting a lot of Tom Brady versus Drew Henson vibes back in like 99, 2000, I think it was. Same type of scenario. Tom Brady was McNamara in this case. And it's like, hey, why would you bench him? Because it's like, no, I got this hot shot that might lead the program if I don't play him right now. That's what this feels like to me. And it just so happens JJ is going up against a very trash Hawaii team this current weekend, right? So here's my question. Can JJ, I think also is currently I think the spread is the highest spread in Michigan football history because Hawaii's so bad.
It's like 35 points or something. No, is it 51?
It's like
yeah,
50.
We're favored by like 35. You're favored like 51, something
50
like that.
something, right? Which is insane typically, even when you're playing a bum team. My question is this: can JJ get that? Will he go out there and look like Cam Newton in his Heisman year? If he does that, then okay, cool, I'm fine with it. If he comes out there and plays exactly like McNamara with pedestrian numbers, then this thing's going to drag on. And if we're talking about dragging on, you might as well just get a kid who did it and won a Big Ten title, the reins, and we'll go from there. But to start the season, I'm anticipating no real competition. We're 4th right now for no reason. We're going to beat up on tomato cans, as they were saying in boxing. And we'll see when the Big Ten really gets to rocking and rolling, what type of time this team really is on, because there's still questions abound, and no question is going to get answered until they face some real competition.
Yeah, I think your first like actual truth test, if I'm not mistaken, is Iowa. Let me put up for you 1 second. Yeah, no, you're favored by 52 this week. 52 points. So that's 7 touchdowns and a field goal.
Personally, I just don't believe. To me, that I feel like I would have to, you know what I mean? I couldn't bet that over. Like, Hawaii does something stupid and somehow gets it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel like it'll go.
You'll only win by like 31 points or some crazy junk.
I just put it up on the screen, so I hope you can see it. We're starting with Maryland and going to Indiana. Seems kind of early.
Iowa. You go to Iowa, then Indiana. Then you play Penn State.
October 1. Yeah, I'm just saying, Indiana, I thought that was a late season game.
Oh yeah. We played Indiana like week 5 or 6 last year, so I think they're just trying to get the Indiana game, out of there for the big boys now.
Yeah, looking at the schedule is pretty cheeks, to be honest. It's fairly easy. Connecticut, this is all of these should be W's if you're really who you are. All of them. Their first real test, I don't even think that's a test. At Penn State at home. Penn State's a mess. You guys will be the first real clash. Hopefully you're undefeated. We're undefeated. We can go from there. But going after that, Rutgers, I can't see them losing that one. They got Nebraska late in season at home. I can't see them losing that one. They got Illinois at home. And they got this big one here, Ohio State. So outside of that, there is no reason why Michigan can't possibly go undefeated to start this to get to here undefeated. But our only real test being you guys, so we need you to not choke it away. Because I don't know if the second dream season does happen, we're just gonna get washed in the playoff again anyway. But I'll enjoy watching every Saturday if we're gonna kick ass. I got no problem with that. Let me pull you guys up real quick.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a gauntlet in October.
There we go. All right. Yeah, you got Western Michigan, Akron, Washington, Minnesota, Maryland, Ohio State. Start to see them. Ohio State, Wisconsin, Michigan. I mean, but if you mess around and win these games or go 2-1, you guys are gonna be ranked pretty high. Illinois, that's one. Well, that's one.
I mean,
I
don't really see only like really two strong games that I see here. Obviously, it's Ohio State and you guys, right? So I feel like Akron, we should win by at least 5 or 6 touchdowns against Akron. Washington, now it is in Seattle at 7:30. So that is definitely a game that I would circle, but I feel like Washington is on a downswing. And you guys played them last year. Now, granted, it was at home, but we saw what you guys were able to do with them. I feel like we should be able to do something similar. So I feel like that's a pretty easy game. Minnesota is a sleeper team. They've got a good running back. They got a decent offense with a quarterback who's been there for like 10 years. Tanner Morgan, I don't know when he's going to graduate, but he's been there forever. But I feel like we should be able to handle Minnesota at home. Maryland's Maryland. I think we got them pretty down packed. Only confirmed L that I would hand out probably would be Ohio State, even though they didn't look the greatest. But that defense came out and looked a heck of a lot better than people were expecting. I guess the Jim Knowles effect really is serious because their Achilles heel last year to a certain extent was their defense. Now they're coming out with guys playing like that, hold Notre Dame to 10 points. They could be really scary, especially if that offense gets its pep back.
I was pondering on Ohio State the other day, and it hit me. I'm like, okay, is Ryan Day really Urban Meyer? Is he really Dabo Swinney? Is he really what's my man, Nick Saban? We'll see. I don't know if he is. I don't. So I think they can be beat. Here's my thing with you guys in that schedule. If that's a home night game, October 8th, I don't know, man. It's winnable. It's very winnable. I don't think you're gonna get clown showed or nothing. Obviously, I don't want to see you win either, but it is a winnable game if you play it at night. I think one of those games is going to be a night game. Wisconsin or Ohio State. They'll never.
You're going to be at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. I don't remember. I don't think they determined. Actually, no, I think it is 3:30. The Wisconsin game is going to be at 3:30.
They should see that teams don't do enough in the Big Ten. We're playing this halfway conservative stuff, man. We want to embrace the war. Michigan State, Ohio State should be at night one year. I understand why they don't, but forget all that.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And low key, I feel like they did this a couple of years ago. Like they'll have Michigan play Penn State. Michigan play Penn State, Michigan State, and then Ohio State back-to-back years. The same with us. They'll have us play, I believe it was Penn State, Ohio State. Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having those three at the end, that little round robin of the 4 teams, and whoever's at home, you give somebody a night game. But we're so used to seeing the Penn State, Ohio State whiteout game. I feel like they should also give to us because we only played one night game before that I can really recall that I've seen with my own eyes. And that was, I believe, 2019. It was 2020. I think it was 19 or something like that.
You guys have night games.
No, against you all, against you.
Oh yeah, no. They legit don't want to play those games at night in the Big Ten. None of these teams want to do that. So you won't see that.
The only team who I've seen consistently play night games like that is Ohio State.
Yeah, but they won't play Michigan at night. They won't. They already know what type of time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially out of us fans to get.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The big game. If it's another situation like a 1 versus 2 or something, come on. I mean, I appreciate it last year because we played Ohio State in the snow, and that's about as majestic as you can get outside of playing them guys at night at the shoe. I want to see it. You know, like, ain't no bigger pressure environment for these Michigan boys than Ohio State at night.
A night game at the is crazy.
And if it's for a trip to the B1G title game, come on, man. The big one, the B1G is already the leader. Michigan and Ohio State are going to put up numbers regardless. It's going to be a top 3 game for the season. If it's at night, it's guaranteed like number 1 spot. If it's for some real consequences, come on, man. You might just make history. You know, guys like Aiden Hutchinson appear in the Heisman race out of nowhere for games like that. You know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. Ohio State schedule, it looks pretty standard, man. They're not going to really run into any real problems. I don't think anytime.
I mean, the only like true tests that I see that they have are, I mean, if you consider Wisconsin a true test, you know, they've got Wisconsin, they've got us, and then I don't think, because the Penn State game this year is not going to be a whiteout, so I feel that's just going to be a normal regular game at Beaver Stadium, so they should handle that pretty handily, and in the game with you guys, end of the season. So, like I said, they shouldn't really run into any true problems until September 24th or October 8th, and then after that, they'll pretty much handle business until they get to November 26th. Yeah, November 26th. So
we'll see. Now, for the record, none of us here are Ohio State guys, so let's get those suckers off my screen.
Look. Now, I will say this: I am not the biggest Ohio State fan, but I respect them. You know, I have no problems with them like the other guys do.
Yeah, I got nothing. You on your own with that. That's Spartan behavior. That's Spartan will right there. With the enemy.
Yeah, I guess I am friends of the enemy because I am the enemy. But yeah, I would love to see a night game October 8th against Ohio State, because the last time that we had a night game against them, I believe it was 2 top 10 teams. Great atmosphere. We lost by like two touchdowns, but it was a great atmosphere. You know, I believe that was the Michael Thomas game. I think that was the game Michael Thomas had like 3 TDs in Spartan Stadium, and I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna be something nice. You know, but, yeah, that was a great environment. Yeah, all right, that was like, yeah, top tier.
The NFL talent that has come from that place is ridiculous, though. You know,
very
ridiculous. So
from both sides of the ball too, though. Like, it's not just one side; it's both sides of the ball.
All I know is we're undefeated against them in 1 year. So
that is the most Michigan thing I've heard all day.
On a 1-game winning streak, baby.
Yes, we haven't beaten those guys in like 7 years. And a lot of those contests haven't been close.
See, I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I just don't appreciate that in the Big Ten right now. These guys shouldn't be walking around like they're big dogs on the block and just taking lunch from people as they're sitting at the table. Don't get me wrong, man.
I mean, they're that good, though. I mean,
they are that good, but it shouldn't be this way. Everybody in the Big Ten's got to step it up. Everybody. And they've punked Michigan for 20 straight years. So I really can't even say much. You know, just nobody was. If Michigan fell off, somebody should have stepped up and took their spot to challenge them and own it. You guys probably did it the best.
I'm about to say, I was going to say, I feel like we did it, you know, the best, even though it was only a 5-6 year run in that regard. But, you know, I feel like this is how the Big Ten normally goes. I hate to say it, but Ohio State is always going to be the big dog, especially right now. They're going to be the big dog. And then there's going to be teams like me, you, Wisconsin, Penn State. And then below that, you're going to get a surprise team every year. Last year, I feel like it was Purdue. Year before that, it was like Northwestern. Year before that, it was like, I think it was Purdue. And it goes back to Northwestern. Or you might get a surprise Nebraska team, even though I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But there's always a surprise team that comes out of nowhere that you know plays Ohio State kind of close or beats them in their play. Or it's even been Iowa a couple of years. It was Iowa last year too. It was Iowa in 2015. We played them in the Big Ten championship game. So like, there's always going to be a team who comes out of nowhere, especially from the Big Ten West. And you look up and be like, oh, well, we've only got 8 wins, but they've got 10, 11 wins, you know? So I feel like that's just the trajectory of the Big Ten, how it's going to be for the foreseeable future. Somebody's going to have to step up and take that place below our 2 teams.
I think it's been there the whole time. I mean, And to be fair, and ever since Barry Alvarez was there, I gotta talk about
Oh
Wisconsin.
yeah, whiskey. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they probably, if it's not you guys, it's probably them. You know, that we're sitting there like, no, I'm not gonna just tolerate this nonsense from y'all. But again,
I don't remember the last time they beat them.
I know it's been a minute. You know, they changed their coaching direction and all that. I forget who's coaching there now. He had a
Paul
hot
Chris.
Paul Chris. Yeah, he had a hot little start and just he's about to get fired, basically. If I had a hot yeah, I don't think he's going to make too much. I don't think so. That team's not going to go anywhere.
I feel like they win the Big Ten West this year, honestly, and I feel like they're going to lose 47-3 in the Big Ten championship.
Is that really any kind? The Big Ten West is probably the worst big time division in the Power Five. There's nobody that scares you in the Big Ten West. Nobody. And we all know whoever wins
personally is Wisconsin because of that defense. Offense doesn't put a fear in my heart, but
when was the last time a Big Ten West team won the Big Ten title game? I mean,
they never won it.
They never won. Okay, and how long have we been playing?
Never won it. Look,
how long have we been playing
twice.
Big Ten championship?
You guys have gotten it once. Penn State got it once, and Ohio State has won every other year than that.
So it's been like 10 years we've been doing this big one.
Oh, you know what? The only time they ever won it, Wisconsin won it, but they weren't divisions then, because that was a game that Kirk Cousins and us, we got screwed over that. Was it a block punt? It was a pass interference that led to like a block punt or block field goal, and then they ended up winning, going to the Rose Bowl. But when it's been divisions, the 6-7 years that it's been divisions in the Big Ten, the West hasn't won. Like I said, we've won it twice. Ohio State has won it. You guys won it once, and then Penn State won it once. So
yeah. So that was leaders and legends you're referring to. Yeah, and that's literally the last time. So 2014, it just went back to East-West in this current format. Ohio State.
That means we won it once then. Mm-hmm.
Right. So Ohio State has won it. Michigan State has won it.
Penn State, you guys. That's it.
Yeah, there we go. There's a list here. Yep. Ohio State, Michigan State, Penn State, Ohio State dominance. Here we go. Back on the block to get our. I don't even know how many it is now, but yeah, man. Look at this fodder that's been thrown out. Wisconsin, Iowa.
I'm about to say, but just look at the teams that we keep seeing right here. What's the one recurring thing we keep seeing in the West?
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Northwestern and Wisconsin. Like, I'm just saying, there is no actual.
Iowa's been there twice too.
There's no comp in this league at the top. Whoever wins the East typically is going to go to that playoff. Granted, if they have a good enough season,
or if they don't make the playoff, they're definitely going to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, that's just the credit that comes with being the Big Ten champion. But I need the West to step it the hell up. And look at these scores, and none of them have really been close.
Okay, probably the closest one that I can see off top right here is, I hate to say it, was our game. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were gonna lose that game, especially in the middle of the fourth quarter. I thought it was a wrap. The Ohio State Wisconsin game in 2017 was pretty close, and I feel like the one with Penn State and Wisconsin was pretty close. So that was a pretty good game.
38-31, yeah. Unless it was, I don't remember them specifically. But
I remember that was when was that Gesicki? Yeah, I think that was when Gesicki and Saquon were in Penn State. Chris Godwin.
Yeah, Saquon. Yeah, he was there. So again, though, I mean, we play these guys and they amount to nothing at the end, and we walk away looking like chumps and suckers. You know what I mean? And that's just all I'm getting at when it comes to the Big Ten. I think both of our teams should have a good season. I think honestly, my team, Michigan, is going to have a better season than yours. And I predict we're not going to go 0-3 against Mel Tucker, and we are going to go undefeated till we meet Ohio State. That's just the way I see it, and we'll see what happens that weekend.
The only loss that I see prior to the game against you guys is Ohio State. Now, like I said, if it is a night game, we bring all the alumni and stuff out for that game, then it's a whole different ball game. But if it's 12 o'clock or 3:30, I'm not too confident in that.
12 o'clock massacre.
Yeah, I'm not, because that's what's been happening the last couple of years. You see, last year at 12 o'clock, we got smacked pretty badly. Like that was like that low key might have overtook the Alabama game that we played in 2015. I feel like those are the two worst games that I've ever seen Michigan State football ever play. I believe it was at 2019. We got smacked. It was like 48-3. We got smacked at 12 o'clock in the shoe. There was another game where we got beat pretty badly in the shoe at like 12 o'clock. So, you know, it's a whole different time when you're playing at 7:30, 8 o'clock. Those games just seem to be a bit closer. I don't know if it's because, you know, the day is winding down. It's just, I don't know if it's a psychological thing. I don't get it, but it's a fact.
I think people are more sussed up. You got to watch a lot of football earlier. Now you're the only show in town, or not the only show in town, but you know you're the event. So
yeah, they've been talking about you guys the whole week. You're the headliner.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
unless it's just such a great game coming on before that, but most of the times you're the headliner.
You're gonna bring a little more juice to that one, you know, as you should.
Yeah.
And go from there. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. It's gonna be a good season. I wish you guys no luck.
Same here. I mean, mutual respect. Even though I can't stand you guys, but you know, it's mutual respect.
I just wish for no injuries. That's all. Everybody.
Man, we starting off on the wrong foot with that. We lost Darius Snow and Henderson.
Yeah, you guys, those are some big losses, man. So we'll see.
I mean, thank God the linebacking core is deep this year, but man, we don't want no type of injuries, especially a season-ending one in Snow. And we don't know how long Xavier Henderson is going to be out either. So that's a bang to the secondary, which is already not the best.
Right.
So, yeah. Thank God it's only Akron this week. But, you know, what's going to happen when we do play Ohio State in that passing offense? You know?
You either gonna pass or fail. Nothing else.
Shut up. Yeah.